Good day to all. This is TR Shakti from Battery Lab, and welcome to our Doing It Better Together live chat. Now, this week's edition, as you realize, we are on close to the first half of the circuit breaker, and this is our fourth session. So for today itself, we have a guest, a unique guest, I will say. Now, he's actually the founder for Beardy Bakes. They actually call him, even though his name is Baker Sadiq, they call him Beardy Hulk. All right. Now, what started as a home-based business in February 2019. The key reason why he started this business was more towards passion, because he couldn't get quality sugee cake elsewhere. So he got fed up and decided to bake it himself. And interestingly, he got his initial recipe online, right, and got his guidance from his cousin, and which became his passion, and his passion grew to a business. And after discovering his passion for baking sugee cakes, Sadiq was reluctant to go back to work and wanted to explore life as an entrepreneur, and that is where he founded Beardy Bakes. All right. So without any delay, let me bring on Sadiq. Hey. Welcome, Sadiq.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. How do you feel?
Feeling good. Staying at home, relax.
Yeah, as much as there are a lot of complaints about circuit breaker, this and that, but actually, in one way, I think there are some of us who are really enjoying this moment.
Yeah,
actually.
I got to look at the bright side of it, lah.
Otherwise, True. Hey, thank you so much, Sadiq, to be around. Now, I'm still thinking, should I call you Sadiq or should I call you the Beardy Hulk? And I think a lot of them will be wondering why you have that.
You call me Sadiq when you are everywhere else, except for the gym, then you call me Beardy Hulk.
Okay. So now I roughly know why you got that term Hulk. It's something to do with fitness and gym. We will be asking you these questions. We got loads of questions for you. And once again, thank you, Sadiq, for joining us in this show amidst your busy schedule. We really appreciate this. Now, before we move on, as I was saying, Beardy Bakes was actually discovered through passion, right? In fact, you were saying that it's an accidental passion that you realized because of your search for proper sugee cake.
Yep.
And that was interesting. You decided to do it yourself, and then it became a passion for baking, and you had the help of your cousin, and then that became your business. And it's amazing, to know that sometimes you look for something and it becomes a passion, and then eventually business. And we are always looking for opportunities where we are talking about nothing beats having a business or something that you work every day, and you don't feel like it's working so long as it's your passion. That's the beauty of it. So I think you are one example. So Sadiq, a brief introduction of yourself, of your business and the journey behind your current success.
Okay, so about myself, I've been working since the age of 12 as a butcher in a hawker center, from everywhere else, going to airport in secondary school. So all my life I was working. And then just before I became baker, I was a marine surveyor, and way before that, I was in shipping line. So 12 years in shipping line, and then about 3 to 5 years in marine surveyor, and then short while I was actually a freelance trainer, a gym trainer, and then I went to baking. So baking is it right now. I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. This the sugee cake is getting better and better nowadays. So people are knowing what is sugee cake. I'm trying to educate most all the Singaporeans about our traditional sugee cake. So that's how it happened. Actually, it's accidental business, like you said. We were looking for good buy sugee cake. So going around, I realized sugee cake has changed to pound cake, pound fruit cake. So we were quite fed up. So we went to look for the recipe and everything. I tried on last year Chinese New Year. So on that Chinese New Year itself, my cousin was doing some painting, and then I told him, "Hey, I want to bake." So I took out my things for the first time in my life. I've never baked, So I ever helped my cousin bake. I ever helped my mom bake, but I never, hands-on something from scratch. So that's what happened. So I went to bake from scratch sugee cake. and it turned out very well. My
Oh,
cousin
okay.
loved it. And then the next day, I tried to give my mom, my mother-in-law, let them try because they were good bakers. They are good bakers, so I need their advice. So I went let them try, and then they give me review. I wasn't satisfied. Came back home, make some R&D again. I keep doing until I get the right comment review from my parents and my mother-in-law. And then I went to throw myself in WhatsApp, messaging all my friends, trying to see if they want to support me with my suji cake. Um, from reviews, then I know what to improve or not to improve or to stop. And finally, I realized I stopped because that was my perfect recipe. So now the recipe from online now become my own recipe really now. There's a
Nice,
whole
nice.
lot of changes. Yeah. And then from there, I actually brought some of my cakes to Chef Omar and Chef Bob. I let them try my cake. So of course, Chef Bob gave me his point of view, and I took it. Though it was a bit harsh, but I took it and I tried to improve my cake again because at the time it was not that moist. It was very dry. So I came back home. I did some R&D again, and when it went good, so I brought again to his place, let him try again, and he was super happy about it. you know. And then also to Chef Omar, um, made some cakes, give it to him, let him try. So he inspired me to do some cream on the cake, and that's where I actually got Italian meringue.
Hmm.
So it's actually inspired by Chef Omar from Cucina.
Okay.
Uh, so improvise from there, and then I want to be. I don't want to have much of competitors. I want to be niche in the market. So
Hmm.
what I did, I made assorted suji cakes. I made sizes, I made flavors, I made with more different kind of creams and everything. So today you will find my suji cake with orange flavor, chocolate, marble. All these are suji cakes. Carrot orange, one of my most popular one, and also gula melaka. So all these are uniquely mine only, and I'm the only one doing in Singapore right now suji cake with assorted flavors. Also, my Italian meringue comes with lemon Italian meringue and also the original Italian meringue, right? So currently, I just came out with my chocolate ganache, my dark chocolate ganache.
Wow.
So I'm using all this Calibalt chocolate and good stuff to make them really good.
By telling me all these things, you are now starting me, to making me crave for all the different suji cake. As you are telling each name, it's just a picture in front of me. It's like, oh, okay, now if I have this cake. So, the next time, when I have another session with you, I should be having all these cakes in front of me and tasting it
Yeah,
while I.
yeah, man, yeah. I'll try to deliver to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had I mean, just for you guys out there, I tasted because we were actually in a session where we had certain training going on, and then I was talking to Sadiq and say, you should bring on your suji cakes, and he brought it, and that's it. The moment he brought it, and that's it. Everybody were like, just attacking his cakes. And that is where I had my first taste of Beardy Bakes suji cake. And I think personally, yes, I do have to agree on my personal experience that, hey, I've never tasted such suji cakes, authentic suji cakes in the market so far. I mean, I don't have a sweet tooth, but when you have good stuff in front of you, you can't stop eating it.
Yeah.
In fact, I
And
was
that's my
complaining.
first motto actually to keep my ingredients, the good ingredients, the good quality ingredients. So all
Mm.
my stuff that I'm using is premium stuff, not cheap butter. It's expensive butter,
Okay.
expensive ghee, good flour, right?
Mm.
And also organic milk and good eggs. Eggs are so important. I'm very particular about eggs. I
Okay.
only got my eggs from NTUC because I want that particular quality. So recently, I
Okay.
just got my own supplier who gives me good quality eggs, and eggs are very important for me. I want good quality eggs. If my eggs are very yellowish, I won't take it.
Okay. And I believe it's because end of the day, I think you are very concerned. I mean, the ingredients make the cake. So I think you are you are making sure you ensure that the quality of the cake or the end of the day, the cakes turn out according to the ingredients put
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
Yeah, but why specifically eggs? Does it make a big difference when you talk about eggs itself?
yeah. The size, the different qualities, it does make my cake look different and taste a little bit different. The
Okay.
fluffiness, everything does make a lot of difference. And
Right.
also my semolina also is actually a big issue. People thought semolina everybody can use any kind of house brand semolinas and whatever. No, I have to use particular brand semolinas to get the right texture of my cake. So it will
Mm.
not break, it won't crumble too much. It will just stay as itself when you cut them. So usually the olden cake, whenever you cut, you actually breaks. It becomes very crumbly. Then you eat it like rice. But my cake, it maintains its shape, and its texture intact when you cut them. So that's one thing I've improved on my suji cake.
Okay, and to think about it, your journey, you started from an online recipe, and then you did your R&D, and then you looked up, feedback from, all the way from your mother-in-law, your immediate family members, all the way up to Chef Omar, the professionals and the experts out there, and you got comments, you did up, and I believe right now, you have that formula right, that recipe, and it's specifically yours, and you know exactly, and I think that is a journey that is very important on how years to come, even right now, how Beardy Bakes actually grew to what it was, how it started to what it is today.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's something that I think it's important for all of us to know, that sometimes when you have our passion, we are starting things, it's always important to continuously get the review. In a way, you're actually doing a market conduct survey to ask a feedback,
true.
and open to receive the feedback and keep improving. And that's why I'm not surprised that you can even go down to the specific ingredient and why it's important,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
texture of
yeah.
your cake and everything, and that's where it has brought you. I mean, that's really awesome, for somebody who had no experience, and now you are a baker and you're talking about like the
Yeah, yeah.
specifics.
I've been watching, I've been working, not only working, I've been watching all my bosses, how they work, how they plan and strategize the business and everything. And
Mm,
I realized that the first important thing is your product. You must know your product. You
mm,
must be in love with the product
mm.
before you can actually bring it out there and sell. If you have no passion on your products, then you can't sell. So my first initial part was to do my product well,
Okay.
um, and perfect. So when I go out there now to sell, I'm confident on my product. I know you're going to love my cake, right?
Mm.
I know you won't have much complaint otherwise, unless you are, having you can't eat too sweet or anything like that. But otherwise, it's a cake. We really try to perfect them, right? So I'm confident on my product. Right now, I'm selling them. So I'm trying to use as many marketing tools I can use. Um,
Okay.
at the same time, I'm also trying to cut costs. Right,
Mm.
I'm not a such huge company or big investment or whatever. So I'm trying to cut costs in as much as possible. I don't use marketing services or whatever. I'm using my own experience um,
Mm.
of doing marketing, my own way, my own strategy to do my marketing. So one of the way is I usually sponsors on events, right? For one of the events I can name you will be Day One Connect from Malay Chamber of Commerce, Singapore Malay Chamber of Commerce Industry.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they have some functions like Day One Connect, I'll actually put my cake over there, let them try. And then if let's say there is some relative functions, whatever, I will sponsor my teh tarik and my suji cake over the place. So
Ah,
that's towards like our program the other day where we went for Protege Kita, and I was actually put some cake over there so everybody can try the cake. Yeah, there is some loss in my cake, but then it's not a huge margin of loss. I take it as my marketing cost.
yeah, yeah. In fact, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I do remember seeing your menu that your suji cakes comes with teh tarik.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect combination, right? Teh tarik
It
and
must
suji.
go well with teh tarik, brother.
Yeah. So I think it's a perfect combination. Teh
Yeah.
tarik and suji.
And even for
I
my
do.
teh tarik, sorry, even for my teh tarik, I'm not doing those that kind of teh tarik that you find in the stalls outside. My quality of tea is different. I make it a more thicker. I make you
Okay.
taste more of the tea quality.
Mm-hmm.
The condensed milk and the evaporated milk, the good quality ones again. Um, and then I brew my tea for an hour
Ah,
to get
okay.
that kind of good quality tea.
Okay. So
I
to make
brew
sure you
them,
get the flavor. Right.
flavor
Right.
of the tea. That's right.
So,
So
and I mean, these are the key reassurance that the quality that you get from Beardy Bakes it's not just about mass production just for the catering, but it is really the quality, even up to the teh tarik itself. The time, the texture of the cakes, the time taken to really do even the teh tarik. I think that's important. When you are catering, whether it's cakes and so on, I think it's the quality of that we are looking out for, and that's the key importance. Now, definitely, I think I want to go into the next question about why going into business, but I would like to also highlight that Aisha Chinta actually wishes you more success with Beardy Bakes, and Azrul Nizam say that nice to see you, gentlemen. Or it's both of us actually. Azrul from SMCCI, so I think it's nice that he's also joining us.
Thank you.
So I think we are starting. We have a lot of people in the Facebook chat. So for those of you viewers looking at us, please remember, ask questions as we move on. We can engage Sadiq anytime to ask him questions so that we will be able to engage and get more I will say essence on his journey as a business owner. Now, Sadiq, you did cover this part, but why business? We all know that when you talk about business, doing or baking for passion is you bake, you give your family members and so on. But what actually inspired you or wanted you or gave you the confidence that you wanted to own a business? Start Beardy Bakes.
Yeah. Though I was working all these years, my stepfather is actually a businessman. So I grew up with an entrepreneur in the house. Whatever we do, I'll be taught, and I'll actually follow my dad, my stepdad, everywhere he goes and do whatever business he does. So from there, I actually, been inspired by him to do business, to do what we business or whatever. So he always advised me something. You should try to do a business where you don't have, you use $0 to start. So that makes my brain work since I was 17. I tried to find a way to do business with no investment a lot, not much investment, or $0 or using $1 to invest something. That's how I actually came up with a few other stuff before this. I was actually selling cars before this. I was a car dealer. I was exporting cars before this. It didn't fail, but I paid off the business because of some other reason. And then I went back to work, and then again the mind what do you call that? I was all the way thinking about when I was going to start my own business or what kind of business. So it can be any business, as long as I want to do a business. I want to stand alone, and I want to be an entrepreneur.
So it's actually something that you actually wanted to do it for longest of time, and then the opportunity comes. Now, another interesting question. Actually, in fact, I got two questions. Now, the first one, one of the key things that actually attracted me to Beardy Bakes was actually your logo and your cap, and that's why you realize that I insisted that when you come for our interview live chat, please wear your baker's hat, and that's I think specific to Beardy Bakes. So and something very unique. You the branding is actually not just your sushi cakes, but it's you, the man behind the cakes. So is there a reason why in terms of why Beardy Bakes and why the logo?
Beardy Bakes. Yeah, and sorry. Why that logo? The first question is why that logo. There's this phrase in Malay, which I learned when I was younger. It says, harimau mati tinggalkan belang, manusia mati tinggalkan apa. So it's like, if a tiger dies, it leaves the stripes. But when a man dies, what does he leave? So it always played in my head since I was young. What do I going to leave when I die? And then just before I started this business, right, I actually read about KFC, about Colonel. Yeah. So when I read about him, I was like so inspired, and that word came back to me again. What am I going to leave when I die? So I told my wife, look, my brand is going to be my face. And she was like, everybody was like shocked. Like even my family members were like, hey, you don't know, people, going to throw away a sticker, going to stack on your sticker, your face, down there. I said, I don't care. If people are going to throw my sticker on the street, it's going to be stick on the ground. It's also a marketing publicity for me.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Yeah, exactly. You see, so I don't care. I just want my face to be anywhere. If it's in the bin, it's okay. If it's in the bin, the guy who's collecting the bean can see the cake and then he will like want to buy my cake. That's how McDonald's do, right? That's what everybody else do. So I said, no, I want to leave my brand. When I die, people will still see my face over there, right? And something, and why Beardy Bakes is mainly because I'm keeping my beard. I have not shaved my beard for a very, very long time. Even since national service, I didn't shave. So
I understand. It's a good choice, It's a good choice in life not to shave your beard.
Exactly. It's my identity.
Okay.
And yeah, it's my identity. That's why it's called Beardy Bakes.
Okay, cool. Now we got a couple of questions. I'm just going to, say this question now. The first question is actually from Ms. Dana Shan. She was asking whether is this a tradition or skill taught to you or passed on by your parents, which you initially answered that it was. Okay, to Dana, I can answer the question for you. Sugee cakes came because of a need. He just wanted to have good sugee cakes, and he decided to bake it on his own. So, and that's where
I've never baked before. I swear I've never baked before. I'm fasting right now, so I'm telling you, I've never baked before. Last year, January was my first baking on myself, on my own. So I only cook. I know how to cook. I do cook all kind of food, Western food and Indian food, Malay food, but never baked. Never baked before.
Cool. So yep. So it's not a recipe passed on, from his parents and so on. It was, from him. All the research and development done. A lot of feedback given and consistent improvement. In fact, the earlier questions, Sadiq was talking about, even choosing the quality of the eggs and the ingredients for the cakes. So I think it was all self-taught, and I think it came, from, and it all started from a need for good quality sugee cakes. Yeah. So you got a lot of questions. It's like, okay, the next one is same. It's from Dada. As you can see, she wants to ask whether if she can order during this circuit breaker. Can they order sugee cakes online? And are there only sugee cakes, or they can take orders for weddings, birthday, and events?
Okay. So I'm actually having a bakery at the Citron, number 1 Man Road. So I already applied my permit to operate for this COVID season, COVID-19 period. So it's been approved, and I'm allowed to bake. So you can go ahead and order your cakes, but only on delivery. I can only do deliveries. That means you can't self-collect, or I can't deliver to you directly. So I will use a third party to come deliver the cakes to you.
Yeah.
And so the other question for functions, yes, we do for weddings and functions. So you can actually message me directly, and then we can discuss about all the stuff.
Okay, so for those of you who are already thinking of ordering cakes and more details, definitely the later part of chat, we are going to go into the details of how you can contact Sadiq, the online ways to order cakes, and definitely, so just stay tuned and we'll definitely go into that. Sadiq, before our next questions, we do have another question from Noor Fahana Jasni. Well, the question is, do you have a vision of producing sugee cakes to be exported overseas?
Oh, yes. The whole, it happened actually last year when one Japanese chef, pastry chef, over to my place. So she requested for a matcha sugee cake.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried my R&D with the matcha that she gave me, a good quality matcha. So it turned out very well. That she loved it. So she was talking about doing that business this year actually, to go over to Japan and promote my matcha sugee cake. And then at the same time last year, I actually went with Malay Chamber of Commerce to Thailand for a business trip. And from there, I actually met a few people over there to bring my cake to Canada. So actually this year, I'm supposed to be in Japan, in Thailand, and in Canada to promote, to do an exhibition on my cake. But yeah, unfortunately, I have to be here. We are stuck right now with the lockdown. So yeah, there is a lot of plan for me to go overseas, to franchise my bakery out there with only my sugee cake and my teh tarik.
Cool. I guess what's interesting is that the vision definitely is there to make sure everybody enjoys sugee cake globally. I think definitely there's a plan. I think we even had a chat about this earlier in Jan about your matcha cake and so on. So I think it's a time. Sometimes it's beyond our control where the COVID situation and so on. So but I believe that you are already working into the plans and you are already looking into ways and avenues when the storm calms down. I think there are plans, and I think you should. People should have the opportunity to enjoy that suji cakes and teh tarik out there. Just not Singaporeans itself. Right. Of course, we do have a question from Noraini, which I will be answering. A question was, how do we order? Definitely. But I want to create a bit more, feel for the suji cake before we tell them. But definitely, yes, just stay tuned. We will be talking about how you can order. And in fact, Sadiq will be talking about all the stay home circuit breaker specials that you all can get. If let's say you decide to order the next few days, I'm sure Sadiq is already thinking about some of these special things for you all. Now, Sadiq, I'll just go to the next question first. All right. So first of all, can I just check with you? What were the business challenges? Ever since the COVID-19 situation started. We had our circuit breaker, and prior to that, we already know that things were brewing. The cases were coming up, and then we had our COVID-19 circuit breaker, and now the circuit breaker is extended until 1st June. So, what were your challenges? How did you overcome them, and how are you still overcoming some of these challenges? Would you like to actually share with us?
So what happened was when the whole just before it started, I myself wanted to protect myself and my family too. So what I did was to go over to my bakery, I have to be exposed out there. So what I did, I actually transferred all my equipments from my bakery to my house.
Okay.
So that I will not be leaving my house, and all my ingredients will be delivered to my place. The least I expose myself outside, the more safer my food going to be. So that's how we actually worked for a while. So after that, recently, MTI already informed us that we cannot operate from home base. So we are back to the bakery again. So, I mean, my equipments we use right now, the industrial equipments are quite portable for us to move around. So we just need to shift it back to the bakery. So now we are back to bakery and, to operate from there. So this is pre-planned. My equipments were bought pre-planned for in case I need to shift somewhere to do a pop-up station or to do exhibition somewhere else in overseas. So it's bought that way, so we can actually shift it back to and fro. So there is not much of an issue right now.
Right. So I would say that actually, think about it, there was actually a big concern and still having a concern right now, right? A lot of business owners who are actually so-called home-based.
That's right.
And when the notice came out that businesses which are home-based, they can't carry on anymore. So I think in that way, I believe that your transition from home, which is more towards safety of yourself, your family, as well as your customers.
That's right.
But the good thing is that you had the flexibility to straight away revert back because you still had your bakery.
Yeah, bakery. Yeah.
Right. So, but apart from that, any other challenges? When I believe that at the initial start, there could have been a lot of challenges in terms of, were there any decrease in your orders, or did you have to do anything more to engage your customers, or were there any other challenges you faced? Okay, I'll give you one example. That I don't know whether did you face when the COVID-19 happened, do you realize that there's a need for you to stabilize because you were saying that you were cutting costs? And quite similarly, I think when we had the first live chat with Fitri Creations, Chef Siti was also saying that she was actually suggested by a mentor to cut it at least about 15%. So I think that's the key thing, cut costs. And then, so what other challenges you had in terms of, continuing your business as usual during that phase?
Okay, the first initial challenge was the drop of sales. There was nothing at all, right? I know everybody was like in a panic situation. Even I was in a panic situation. Don't know what to sell or not to sell. Should I proceed or not? So I felt that the customers will actually have the same issue. So I didn't want to take advantage or at that time to go and throw my stuff to go and sell. I just waited for everything to relax. At the same time, I actually had some issues with my ingredients. Some of the, like eggs were actually shortage. Some of the ingredients in the bakery was like total shortage. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to go market right now, if we're going to do this right now, I'm going to have more issues if there's too many orders going to come into me. So I actually dropped my marketing. I went slow down. So whoever wants to order, I see whatever ingredients I have, I got to use first. And then slowly, I actually went to look for all the suppliers who were still open, and then made a new deal with them. And then when everything was okay, more people were more a bit relaxed in the lockdown, and then I start selling again.
Yeah, so I think there were definitely a lot of groundworks done to stabilize, especially like what you say, the ingredients.
Yeah,
Whether the suppliers were available. Were you able to get ingredients to? Because I strongly believe you still wanted to maintain the standard of your
that's
cakes.
right.
You know,
That's right.
so I think so. You rather have the quality than just the quantity to make the
So
sales.
if I
Yeah.
don't have
So
the stuff, I'm not going to bake.
yeah, so I believe, and at the point of time, how long do you actually take to actually stabilize? Looking for the suppliers, to decide to stabilize before you know that okay, we are getting back on track. Not to what your sales was before, but how long did it take you?
It took me about 2 weeks actually.
Okay, 2 weeks.
About two
Wow,
weeks.
all right.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. Immediately, I really went to look for suppliers. I went to NTUC. I see the eggs all gone. I went to look for suppliers. One in Bedok South, one in Jalan Kayu, another one in Punggol. And then from there, actually went to look for some wholesale bakery equipment, items for my ingredients. And then I started talking to them, what's going to happen if, let's say, they got a lockdown. Are they going to continue or not? So when I heard that they are much more bigger and stronger, they can actually supply in bad times. They have enough stock. So I continue to engage them. The good part is they can deliver to my place, to anywhere, to my home
Okay,
or my bakery.
nice.
So yeah, the 2 weeks I had without order, I was actually doing the groundwork
All
with
right. So
my.
it took you about 2 weeks, which I think is relatively, quite fast because by the time we had the shock and by the time things were brewing, with a lot of uncertainty, I think for you to get down to work, to make sure the base needs are in place, your suppliers, your ingredients are in place, and then I think that's important for business owners at that point of time to stabilize and make
I
sure
was
that you have that.
anticipating the minute the issue came out. I was actually anticipating all this stuff, the lockdown and everything. So I was quite prepared to do whatever is needed to. So that's
Hmm.
why it take a shorter time for me to get back online again.
Cool. And I also believe that you have your relevant support in terms of, whether it's Malay chambers, talking to your mentors, they are there to always be there to give you an advice
Yes,
and to
yes,
think through what are the things that you can anticipate before,
yeah,
coming to it. So I think these are the important collaboration and support that you have also been receiving. Like what you
yes,
said, you use a lot of opportunities and where, Malay chambers had those overseas
yes.
expeditions for businesses and so on. So
That's
I
right.
guess these are the essential support that most business owners must have in hand,
Yeah, that's
especially at
very true.
certain time. Cool. So another question to ask now. Now that we are talking about there's so many changes and you handle those changes and you are still handling a lot more changes, how important do you think that business owners need to continuously unlearn what they have learned and relearn to adapt to and transform? Because the last time when we met was actually during our classroom setting when Battery Lab was the program partners with SMCCI or Malay Chambers, and we met up and I knew that you were there on weekends spending your valuable time to sit down to learn things, to build up your business, to
Yes.
transform. So I believe that you are a person who really a strong believer. But maybe on your own words, how important is it, especially in situations like this?
Um, how important? Very important because things can. It's no more that convenient for you. It's no more that easy for you to do. So you got to change, of course, to when you learn something like the way process of baking and everything. Now I got to change by using mask and hand glove to go and do my baking. So
Hmm.
things we have to evolve according to the situation. Yeah, sometimes it can be quite hard, quite tedious, but certain actions have to be taken while you are in such a situation and try to improve, right?
Yeah.
Like certain things that I learned from our class, the pekerja kita, from Battery Lab. Things like my business accounting, my marketing strategies, looking at what kind of platform to use. Everything has changed. The way I look at how I was doing marketing way back, and right now things have changed. So now I'm looking for different apps and platforms to put up my marketing tools. So there was a lot of improvement, a lot of things to undo from my marketing style previously, and then to with a new era right now.
Yeah, and there's one thing, a lot of business owners, even like yourself, I always tell them that it's always good to actually have our passion, which translate into a business. But the important thing is that running a business out of passion is one thing, but we still need to know how to run the business.
True.
The
Very true.
foundation, the fundamentals of business, like what you say, the accounting, the financial part of it, running the business, the P&L and so on. There's always limitless amount of things to continually learn. And yes, I think in today's context, if we can digitalize to get these things to be done, where you can focus on the actual thing where the money comes in for your business, which is baking, quality cakes. I think that's the way it is. All right. Okay. A good compliment that Beardy Bakes is such a cool name, so you are on the right track.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
the decision for you to actually, have you to be the logo itself, I think it's definitely, I mean, I myself feel that it's quite cool.
Thank you.
There's a reaffirmation from one of our viewers itself. Now, next question is, now let's talk about your customers. How do you still continue to deliver your value proposition and continue to delight your customers, especially in the circuit breaker, that now that we are in circuit breaker?
So I have a pool of friends who are dispatch riders and owns motorbike and all the stuff. So I actually get the contacts to do my deliveries all this while. But recently, because of the lockdown, I have no choice but to use GoGoVan and Nalamove to do my deliveries.
Okay.
So because it's going to be there's too many delivery locations, and most of them are in the west and in the east. I mean, far west. So I have to choose certain delivery companies to go into my deliveries right now.
Okay. So at this point of time, I mean, since we are already at this point, maybe I think you can actually share with the people, the uniqueness of your products, the sugee cakes, and how they can actually now engage your service. I think one of the key questions a lot of our viewers were asking, how can we order? Sadiq, come to the point. We need your teh tarik and your sugee cakes, So how can they engage your services, and how can they, maybe you can actually share with us.
Okay, my website is going to be quite long. So you can actually access me through my Facebook page, which is Beardy Bakes by Beardy Haq. It's Beardy, Beardy Bakes by DY, Beardy Haq, Beardy Hulk. Right? And if you are trying to access me through Instagram, then it will be Beardy Bakes _Beardy Haq.
Okay, _Beardy Haq.
Yep. And then you will see a link over there for you to actually access to my website to make the orders. Okay. Or otherwise, if things are very complicated, you can actually WhatsApp me directly at 86929241.
Okay, so I'm just going to put up your number here on the chat. So your number again, sorry.
Say hello. Yep, that's my number.
So I'm going to share this so that Okay. Right, just give me a minute. 6. Just trying to show the face. Okay, done. So all right, I've put up the number here. So I'm going to just put it as Beardy Hulk. So you can just call him. And yes, so we have Sadiq's number here. Yes, and we also have Sadiq's Facebook account is all up. So what we can do is that you can actually just contact Sadiq, find out more about the menus, what you can order, the different types of cakes, and please help yourself. I think this is something that as what we spoke about earlier, it's you will never know the taste until you try it yourself. There's some things that you gotta try. So yes, and Sadiq, one more thing. So any specific advice, for business owners who are currently engaged in our live chat, aspirants, people who wants to be entrepreneurs, or even current business owners, any advice?
I'm not a huge businessman or that well-known businessman, but the only advice I can give to all my fellow friends, those out there doing business, at this current moment, don't think you fail. Don't think things are going to be the end. Try to relax, fall back for a while, do some foundation work, do more foundation work right now. And then, they say, live today, fight another day. So, that's the only thing you can hope for the good stuff. And stay safe.
All right. And if let's say our viewers are going to come and call you and ask you, so is there any specific specialities that they can actually look forward for from Beardy Bakes during this circuit breaker?
Yep, I'm having this gift for a friend. Give a friend a gift. So we're coming up with this small size chocolate ganache sugee cake. It's a small size. It's about close to about 200 to 300 grams to give to your friend, whoever you feel like it's alone somewhere, you've not met them for a very long time, you want to give them a message. You can actually send to them that kind of that sugee cake, the chocolate sugee cake.
Okay, so that means they can come online, order the cake, and decide where it should be delivered.
You have to WhatsApp to me.
Okay, all right. So, and it's May Day tomorrow. Though we are home, it's a public holiday, which means you don't need to walk even at home. You can take a rest, and we don't need to work. So, for those of you who are thinking actually to gift a friend, then what goes well? Nothing goes well, right? Except for to have a sugee cake in front of your TV. And they will be thinking of you. So I think that's a special. Anything else that they can look forward for?
Yep, they have to order 2 days in advance.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 2 days in advance. So if you want your cakes, then do your orders today so you can receive that on Saturday. So So I think that is the price you have to pay to get quality cakes. Because let's say it's not about the numbers, but it's the quality itself. So yeah, take note. So feel free to WhatsApp Sadiq and ask as much questions. You have his contact there. You can order. And Sadiq, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, to being here. But I just have one more question before we leave: is why Beardy Hulk?
Why Hulk? It was actually taught by some of my friends in the gym.
Okay.
I was the only guy, one of the guy that was, with my beard. And at one time, I was actually doing heavy lifting and I was huge.
Okay.
So since then, that name came out
Okay.
from the instructors there. So,
So you have a baker here who you cannot mess around. He's a Hulk. But he's Sadiq when he bakes his cake, with all the love and passion. All right. So hey, thank you once again, Sadiq, to really join us, and I think sharing all this awesome information about Beardy Bakes and your sugee cakes and so on. And I'd like to also thank all of our viewers, to ask and engage Sadiq and ask us so many questions. Thank you so much, and I strongly urge all of you all, to go out there, talk to Sadiq, learn about the menu that they have in Beardy Bakes, order and enjoy your sugee cakes, because I have done that. So with that, I think Sadiq is a bit off right now, but no worry. Okay, now, okay. So yes. Yeah, so thank you. And if you realize today, myself and Beardy Hulk both of us decided to be on swing. Yeah. So with that, thank you so much. And yours sincerely, TR Shakti. And our next chat will be with another business owner on next Monday. So see you. And thank you, Sadiq.
Thank you.